Honestly, I was just writing something, and if I really reflect on me, if I really like make this about me and what I would do, I wouldn't I wouldn't go back and try to correct anything. I wouldn't go back and try to fix someone else's mistakes. If they made a mistake, they made a mistake, and it's just like, okay, so let's say you in class, like you a senior, and you know you didn't pass this class, like you didn't pass, um, let's say you didn't pass a class that actually matters, but in a way to where you still pass regardless, because you basically had enough credits to go move on, but you know you didn't pass this class, so you thinking about, I didn't pass this class, so but you happy, you're like, okay, I mean, it is what it is, I'm still gonna move on. It's something about that class that just keeps interfering with your future, or interfering with your current, you know, your current year. Last year you didn't pass that class, but it keep interfering with this year because you didn't pass the class, but they let you, but you passed it. I mean, you didn't pass that class, but you passed that grade. So it's just like you just thinking like, why, what is holding me back? And it's something about like, I don't want to do this. I don't care for going to correct the past. Like, I feel like I can move on and keep going without, because I've done it. The fact that I've done it was kind of holding me stagnant. Why do I feel stagnant? Why do I feel as though I can't move when I really can? Why do I feel stagnant in my thought process? You know, as if I'm stuck. But is it just me? Am I the one that's, you know, putting myself in this position to feel stuck? Maybe it's not my problem. Maybe the reason I feel like I don't have closure, or maybe I do have closure, but maybe I feel as though I have to go back, is only because it's not about me. Me going back to do something is about someone else, and helping someone else out, you know. You ever had that moment where you sit there and you wonder, why am I doing this? It really, deep, 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 deep down inside, I really could care less about this. And I know I don't care nothing about it. I like where I'm at. I feel like I'm mentally free. I'm free from that mindset. I'm free from, you know, doing what I did before. I don't want to go back and do it all over again. I've already done it. And the fact that I'm here where I'm at is because, well, actually, why am I here? Is it because I have to go back and I have to do what I'm supposed to do? Before my dad passed, he told me, he was like, go back. I want you to go get back on disability. I want you to go get back on your medicine. And he was frustrated when they took me off. He was like, why did they do that? Why did they do that? You have to go fight them. Go back and get your medicine. They wasn't supposed to do that. Go get your medicine. Go get back on your medicine. You know. I didn't. I was just like, why are you trying to hold me back? You don't believe in me. Why do you want me on that medicine so bad? I'm good without it. I didn't tell him this, but I thought it. All I thought was, why? Why do you want me on it? Is it that big of a deal? And if it is, then what am I missing? Why can't you tell me? It's my life. What's the big deal? He wasn't on disability. He was actually just getting on disability. He was working his way into getting. I was helping him, like I was telling him everything about me and my situation, and he was working on getting on disability because he needed it. He's been, you know, diagnosed with with bipolar, anger issues and this, that, and the third. But he hasn't been on disability. I'm like, you should get on disability, and I was working with him to getting him on disability. Um, so that's where we was. He was figuring. I was helping him. He was helping me. He was working with me, not being on my medication. Finally hearing me without. I was still in my breakthrough. I was still at the breakthrough of me not being on medicine. So he was hearing me break through my breaking, point. He was hearing me for that time. Um, and every time I feel okay and I feel like I can go without, there's a door there's that knock on that door, and then there's these pills that's available. I only say available because just because they're available don't mean you have to take it. It's your choice to take them or not. They were available, but what makes me reach out for those pills is that voice in my head when my dad says, go get back on disability. Go get back on your medicine. Go get that back because they wasn't supposed to take that from you. I was thinking, um, if you just think about it as a time machine, if you think about that next moment of you going back, like before you go back, you think of yourself being in that time machine, and you think, me going back, what would happen? It's not the same time. It's not the same people. Same location, different situation. What would going back, how would that interfere with your life today? Everything that you've been through, you know, doesn't matter. Everything that you've been through, physically as well as mentally. You've made it this far mentally. What would going back, how would that interfere with you? What have you been going through now that you feel like if you go back, it will only worsen the situation? That's what I think about. And when I think about that, it's a no-brainer. I don't, like, it's something I won't go back to. But maybe it's not meant for me to go back to, but for me to leave the situation. Be here as a testimony. You know, I've been through it. Yeah, I'll point you in the right direction. Something like that. But life gets hard to the point where I feel mentally exhausted, such as this situation I'm going through. I feel mentally exhausted. I feel like I'm being pulled in too many directions, and I feel an anger inside, of really anger, to where I'm tired of being picked with type of anger. And every time something like this happens, or I have to go through more than I feel like I should, that anger, that anger is triggered by the situation. I'm triggered all over again because it's something that I know shouldn't be happening to me, and yet it's happening to me, and then I'm feeling like, this is happening on purpose. You know, why is this happening to me? Why do I feel like I'm being picked on? Picked with. And sometimes I don't think about it that way. Sometimes I just think about it, okay, so yeah, this happened. It is what it is. But at the same time, it's just like, it have you thinking, you know, do they know that they're wrong in a situation? And if they do know, it's just the fact that they don't care. What did I say before? Everybody is acting off their emotions. It's all personal. They don't care. They've been handed the control stick. They've been handed the controller. So with it, they're going to do what they please. You can fight me if you want to, but what did I say before? It's like, you can fight, but at the same time, watch for your knees. That's just something I had to throw in there with poetry, but it actually makes sense though. You can go ahead and fight. You can do it if you want to, but watch your own knees. Watch your own knees, meaning watch yourself. Because you'll get hurt physically, even mentally, fighting something that's outside of you. What will this help? How beneficial is this to your future, to your life, to your kids, to your situation? How beneficial is it to you? Think about that. You only live once. So yeah. Um with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, be notified, share, join free will, take care. Bye.